You shouldn't have seen this video. 2012. The year nothing changed. The calendar read December 22, 2012. People breathed a sigh of relief. The old predictions hadn't come true. The world was still here. Everyone put away their extra groceries and went back to their daily routines. The planet continued its usual orbit, but that's exactly when it did happen. December 25, 2012, 2:32 p.m. Leo sat in his apartment in Columbus, Ohio, watching the news. The same economic discussions, the same debates, everyday concerns. In the kitchen, an electric kettle was boiling. He got up to turn it off and noticed a discrepancy. The microwave display read 2:32 p.m. His wristwatch, 2:33. His phone screen, 2:31. A sensing glitch, he thought, dismissing it. For the first few months, the minor inconsistencies were blamed on technical issues. There were power fluctuations somewhere, satellites transmitting inaccurate data elsewhere. Experts mentioned unusual solar activity affecting technology. But the activity subsided, and the oddities remained. March 2013. Claire, a researcher from a university in Boston, noticed it during standard tests. The readings from instruments measuring basic reactions in participants had changed. Slightly, but noticeably. She recorded her observations, but colleagues were skeptical. Margin of error, sample size too small, but she felt it. Something had shifted in the very foundation of perception. July 2014. The world was focused on new events. Social media was abuzz. Leo, who had become more of an observer, sat in a park in Denver and saw a woman admonishing a child for spilled juice. Her expression was stern, but her eyes held no real emotion, like someone reciting a learned line. He began to notice it everywhere. People said the right words, followed familiar patterns, but their actions lacked sincerity. Arguments felt like rituals, displays of care like following social norms, disappointments like expected formalities. It felt as though people had forgotten how to be genuine. 2016. The year of the split. The perceivers appeared. That's what they were called. Small groups of people in different cities who had noticed the shift. The first sign was time. For the perceivers, mechanical watches constantly showed the wrong time. Gadgets near them malfunctioned. But the main thing was they remembered. They remembered the real taste of their grandma's pie from childhood, not its pale imitation. They remembered joy that filled their entire being, not just a slight smile. They remembered real friendship, not just convenient acquaintance. Anna, an archivist from Portland, Maine, began gathering these people. They found each other through subtle details. The way someone looked at the first spring leaves with genuine wonder. The simple question, "How are you really?" that could elicit a quiet, honest answer. It's like we all fell asleep in 2012, Anna said one evening at their meeting in an abandoned cabin outside Seattle. And what's happening now is a dream or inertia. Bodies are moving. Society is functioning, but that spark that makes us alive, it's almost gone. But we're here, Leo objected. We feel something. Perhaps we're an anomaly in the system, said an elderly academic they all called the doctor. Static in the signal. Fragments of true perception that couldn't be fully erased. 2018. A world of glitches. The anomalies became more frequent. They were called reality glitches, brief interruptions in the normal flow of life. Main Street, any town. For several minutes, all sound vanished. People moved, cars drove, but complete silence reigned. Then the sound returned with all the noise. A large mall in Phoenix. For one day, many visitors had the same dream. They saw themselves from the outside, as if watching their reflection. City Park, Austin. Every day at exactly noon, the birds would freeze in flight for a second, then continue as if nothing happened. Officials explained it all as fatigue, atmospheric phenomena, technical glitches. Most people chose to ignore it, living in a familiar, if slightly odd, world was more comfortable. 2020. The year of reflection, the period of widespread restrictions, became an unusual catalyst. Isolation, quiet, forced time alone made many people think. The number of perceivers grew. They began exchanging signs, small, unnoticed by others. A pebble placed on a bench in a particular way. A drawing of upside-down clocks in the corner of a store window. An online phrase. Remember the smell of the air after a real thunderstorm. The doctor developed his idea. He believed that in 2012, there hadn't been a destruction, but something else. A divergence between form and essence. The physical world continued to exist by familiar rules, but the collective field of human experience, what some call shared awareness, had been disrupted or disconnected. What we perceive as reality since December 23, 2012, is an echo, sustained by inertia and ghostly memories of lost wholeness. We are performing roles based on old patterns, sometimes with flashes of true memory. Present day. A meeting on the outskirts. In an old, semi-collapsed warehouse on the edge of Santa Fe, about 20 people gathered. The last perceivers in the area. The system is glitching more often, Anna said. Her face showed a fatigue not from years, but from constant inattention. The time loops are getting longer. The people around, they're becoming more alike. It's trying to maintain balance, the doctor said. But the foundation has been shaken. We are approaching a moment of complete system alteration. The question is, what will happen when it finally occurs? Awakening or silence? Leo silently looked at his hand. He concentrated, as he had learned to do over the years, and he felt it, a barely perceptible vibration in the air, a slight flicker of light. He sensed the structure, not literally, but within a knowing of the unreal. There's a story, whispered a young artist named Maya, that somewhere there is a place where everything real is thinnest, where you can see what was before, all the changes, where time flows differently. They say you can find an answer there. And where is this place? Leo asked. Different sources point to different locations, the doctor said. Deep woods, high mountains, quiet small towns, but I think it's not a point on a map. It's a state, the furthest point of understanding. When your awareness sees the illusion so clearly that it gains the strength to step out of it, or to change it. Suddenly, the light in the warehouse went out, not from a power outage. It simply dissolved, swallowed by a deep, impenetrable darkness that seemed to have its own density. People froze. From the darkness came a sound, distant, metallic, like the creaking of huge, old mechanisms beginning to slip. Anna whispered into the dark, and her whisper was louder than any shout. It has detected us. The system knows we have understood. The change never stopped, friends. It continues, and now it has come for us. The darkness thickened, and somewhere far away, outside the warehouse, in the normal world, billions of people slept, watched entertainment shows, chatted on social networks, lived their habitual, measured, calm lives, completely unaware that they were the fading echoes of a memory called humanity, which hadn't even noticed how it had changed on a completely ordinary day back in 2012. Subscribe to the channels so as not to miss new interesting videos.